Alright, hello everyone. I'm going to start this video off by saying that there might be some slight spoilers, so watch at your own risk, but I'll try to keep it as spoiler free as possible. Also pretty sure that anybody who has seen my Black Ops 7 beta video is going to be confused on why this video even exists, but I'll explain myself as it goes. First things first, I hate this menu. I absolutely hate it. They're trying to turn the campaign into Warzone. Yes, I get it. It's a co-op campaign. It's meant to be played with other people. I think I should get an option to play it without anyone else. I hate this loading screen. I hate more aspects about it that I'll go through as the video goes on, but for right now, we'll just stick with that. Gameplay itself of the campaign, pretty standard forward, except it feels a lot like DMZ almost. That's even a stretch as far as I could say, but for the most part, I'm not the biggest fan of it. It's so far, I've only done the first mission. Not a big fan of the first mission. Just, we'll see as the game plays out. I'm doing it in a different style than usual. Usually I end up playing through an entire game, then taking my recorded footage, cutting it down, picking out parts that I like, things I want to talk about, things I enjoyed about it. This is me lowering my volume because it was way too high. Then making a video around that. I'll cut it down. In the last Dynablade one, I messed up a little bit because the audio got desynced, but I do these recordings after I cut out what I want, kind of plan out what I want to go for. This one we're going to do mission to mission. So right now I'm recording this one after only playing the first mission, not letting myself have a different opinion of anything ahead of it, and then so on and so forth. We'll see how opinions change. Maybe they'll get worse, maybe they'll get better, who knows. Gameplay, pretty standard forward. I mean, it kind of feels like the beta to me, honestly. I feel like the enemies have way too much health, hence the Warzone DMZ kind of style. They have armor. Mason has armor, which is really annoying. And there's no other characters that are AI just because it's meant to be co-op. I don't like that. Second stage of the campaign is this kind of menagerie area where they show off their battle bots, like in Black Ops 3. I felt like they fit in Black Ops 3 because if I'm remembering correctly, that game is supposed to take place between like 2050 and 2060, something along those lines. This game is only 10 years later from Black Ops 2. They have advanced so much in those 10 years that while I'm not completely against the fact that they had the robots, I mean, even in Black Ops 2, they had some pretty serious stuff with the claws and the AGRs and a lot of their autonomous war machines, but these ones just feel a little bit too ahead of their time for the time frame. This part of the mission, I wasn't a fan of because it is obviously meant to be played with 4 people, which isn't that big of a deal. I get it. It's a co-op campaign. That was their whole story behind it. I don't like it, but I'm going to play through it anyway. I feel like in this instance, they should have AI of the other 4 characters throughout it with you, especially because there is no difficulty setting. I didn't get to pick that. It just does it on its own. Whatever difficulty it is, that's what you get. There's no help among anything. Basically, you have to rely on those there's self-revive kits like I just had there. Not a big fan of that. It's a COD campaign. If I die, I should have to restart the mission. It's just that simple. Or at least a checkpoint. Maybe not a mission, but a checkpoint. And I should be able to pick my difficulty as well. I'm not a fan of the fact that this game decided that they were going to be so different that they were going to bring their multiplayer aspects into the single player part of every single one of their other games that included a campaign. There were things like Black Ops 4 where they had that stupid Specialist HQ thing where, I mean, yeah, okay, it wasn't a campaign, it was meant to teach you how it worked. But this campaign just doesn't feel right yet. I'll leave it yet in there, big yet. This part I just wanted to leave in. It's really just stupid, but it opens up for the later part of the video, which is, or at least this segment of the video, which is kind of like part spoiler-ish. It's just their chaos gas, which I'm sure most people have covered in videos already that you may have seen, maybe you may not have, but basically psychoserum in gas form. That's the best I can give to you. Hallucinations, visual and auditory hallucinations. I know they have it in multiplayer too. This part is what I really don't like about the campaign. How campy it got. Campy, arcadey, corny, giant machetes falling from the skies. Sure, most people can figure out that this is Menendez related. I'm sure a lot of people probably already know that already watching this video, especially because I don't know how long it's going to take to actually get it put out. So if you've seen everything already, I apologize, but I'm putting it out anyway. I do not like this style of campaign. I hope it's not in later missions. This is my biggest gripe with it, was a boss fight with a fake Menendez. What's the point? It's supposed to be a psycho serum thing that isn't real, but is supposed to make you hallucinate. Why am I actually able to kill things and whatever else? And the way you kill him is with another giant machete. This first mission just, it really sent me over the edge. I was not a fan. We'll see how I feel later on. I can't guarantee that I'll end up enjoying the campaign, but I will play through it. I'll do all the missions. We'll see where we're sitting, and then we'll be back with mission 2. Alright, mission 2. First impressions, not as weird and arcadey as the first mission, which is good, cool, awesome. Not a whole lot different combat-wise compared to the first one. There was a lot more enemies, especially in this first area. For some reason, they just keep spawning. I'm gonna assume that they intended on that to happen because of the campaign camo grind that they have. Also, I don't feel like a drone should take 5 shots to kill, but, you know, whatever, that's just me. Not too bad. Still not really enjoying myself playing this. Kind of just making myself do it at this point. After the first mission, it really just set the tone for a lot of what was going to end up happening. These VTOLs that they pop in, just kind of, I don't really understand the point in having to drop them in. They also tell you in the mission to use a black hat when the VTOL pops up, but they mean on the robots and don't say it. So that's why you see me just tracking a VTOL with a black hat, hoping something would happen. And nothing ever does, because it's not supposed to.
Just got to the grotto.
And in this area, I didn't realize for the longest time that you had to leave to continue. I thought I had to clear all the enemies out. I cut the later part of it out just because they kept spawning and spawning and spawning. But I don't really understand the point of a campaign if it's just going to be infinite people the entire time anyway. At this point, I would rather just go back and play DMZ or, you know, whatever else. Or zombies. If I wanted infinite spawning zombies, or enemies, I'd just play zombies. But eventually, I'd figure out that I just have to leave and stop fighting people, meet up with Karma. She's probably the only person who didn't age in the slightest as far as this game's concerned, but still looks almost completely different. So, good job, Treyarch. You really just made a number on that one. Then they have you doing wacky shit again, like riding a VTOL around to track I don't even know who, because I could not care enough to remember. I wasn't even paying attention, if I'm being honest. This is just, I don't think you would ever just see something this nonchalant but weird at the same time in one of the older games. I could definitely see, say, Black Ops 2, you are hooked onto a VTOL with a, I don't know, a grapple gun or whatever else they even still had in that game. They had the mag gloves, I guess, you could use those. But just to ride around on one like this just feels so weird. And it didn't really add anything to it either. Like, I could have did this without the VTOL, for sure. It might have made it longer, but it wasn't interesting. Killing the actual enemies, you can only kill them with the red barrels on top of the buildings. If you try to shoot them, there's no way it's going to happen. They have so much health, that guy still survives standing right next to a barrel, and it blew up on him.
Got another ping.
I just don't think that this campaign should have ever even actually been developed at this point. I have a hard time believing that I'm going to change my mind, but who knows? Maybe as we go on, it'll get a little bit different.
You alright?
It's just too arcadey, it's too Warzone-y, it's too stupid, like that air brake thing.
Signals coming from a shipyard.
I don't enjoy this style of campaign. This feels like it wants to be some sort of Warzone clone
Overlook ahead.
with a story. And at that point, why even bother? Just give Warzone a story. Or make it like the DMZ thing. I know people tried to say DMZ, especially COD, hardcore COD people, tried to say DMZ was their solution to Tarkov's rising popularity. Whenever that even was, what? Modern Warfare 2, I think. And that just wasn't even the case. But it would have been better as a title for this than campaign. This just feels too much like it wants to be a party mode or a secondary mode. Not a fan of it. I want my campaigns to be hardcore campaigns like they used to be. Carnage, sure, but not just overfilling the enemies in an area with a story narrative behind it while they have characters talking over a radio as you're shooting things. That doesn't feel like a campaign to me. That's really all I have to say about the matter for this. I know I talked more about the campaign than the actual mission 2, but it really wasn't a long mission, all things considered. It was probably 10 minutes shorter than the first one. Not a whole lot going on. Way less arcadey, like I said at the beginning. This is closer to a campaign feeling than what, especially the second half of the first mission felt like. But this one in particular, I don't know, it just felt more like I was going through a secondary game mode, not really learning any sort of campaign-driven narrative. And if anything can really tell you that, it's probably the fact that I don't actually remember anything about it. I remember a little bit. I actually did this and didn't record the voiceover for it in the same day, probably like 12 hours later. But it just didn't feel any better to me than the first mission. So we'll see how mission 3 goes. Haven't started it yet, but I'm sure it'll probably be the same feeling. Alright, mission 3. Right back to the same arcadey, campy shit that mission 1 had in the later half. Killing robots in what is Angola, supposedly, from Black Ops 2, shooting giant plant heads that are locking down the shipping container that is supposed to hold Frank Woods from Black Ops 2 on the barge, which is not in the water, but suspended on a giant rock spire floating in the sky. I am almost at a loss for words on this completely. The implication of this mission just feels so off to me in so many aspects. I get it's supposed to be Section Mason, as a kid, spoilers, dreaming about what happened to his dad, hearing these stories of Alex Mason saving Woods in the jungle, hearing Woods' side of the story, I'm sure, then being a kid, turning it into his own internalized dramatization of it. So it's building this world because of the chaos gas that the Guild, shitty name, has created as their new biochemical war weapon. But it comes back to the exact same point as the last two missions. It just does not feel like a Call of Duty campaign. This feels like a standalone game. And if this were a standalone game, I wholeheartedly believe that people would flame the shit out of this game. They would not stand for it. If this was made by some lesser known developer, not necessarily an indie dev or just one dude making a game, but somebody smaller than Activision and Treyarch, they wouldn't buy this game. It would be dead in 2 weeks. If this was the story narrative that they pushed through, I guarantee you that this would just get completely ignored. Maybe sell a few thousand copies, but wouldn't be worth any of it. Anyway, you make it through the barge, then you come to this room of containers. They have this apparition of Woods being strung up and tortured by Menendez and his people in Angola. Then you listen to him yap while fighting these apparitions of zombies. I mean, even Black Ops 6 had a better zombies mission, so to speak, than this. And even that wasn't good. Like, why are there zombies in campaign? That's why there's a zombies mode. So they're yapping. You hear Woods talking about what Menendez did to him and his team. Then after you do that, a door opens up and it takes you into the next room where you see the actual barge from Black Ops 2. One thing I really hate about this, they are replaying the mission from Black Ops 2 where Noriega convinces Woods to shoot Mason. Why are they using an emaciated Woods? I know it's a really small piece of detail that for some odd reason I'm clinging to on that matter, but I don't necessarily get it. It's supposed to be a retelling. I know it's from Woods in Division retelling his story, so it's essentially 3 layers of a story. But why would they use emaciated Woods? Because it's not like Mason knew that Woods killed his dad as a kid. He didn't learn that until later on. But Woods would decide to depict himself in Mason's nightmare vision as emaciated and freakish. I don't get it. I think they should have used the one from the actual mission. Anyway, you finish your barge stand out, shoot more stupid plant things to open a door. Then, once you make it through the door, you see one of the dumbest things I've probably ever seen. And I won't spoil anything for anyone who hasn't seen this yet. But I don't understand what about this they would consider to be campaign related. At this rate, there's been more fighting Mason's inner demons in 3 missions than there has been the actual supposed bad guy of the campaign. At this point, just make it all dream sequences, say Mason's in some coma, and then he fights this fucking thing. How is this even considered a Call of Duty campaign? This looks like something straight out of Bloodborne. Like, I would see this kind of thing in Bloodborne, and then it wouldn't even be that hard of an enemy. It'd probably be like a mini boss, not even an area boss or anything like that. Just so outlandish, so stupid. It's not looking good as far as I'm concerned for the rest of this campaign, but reiterating once again, I'll still stick it out. We'll see how we feel, but not looking too hot. Okay, well, I'm sure you're seeing this part of the video and going, what the hell happened? I honestly could not bring myself to keep playing that game. It's just so far removed from what Call of Duty used to be, even from a campaign standpoint. Like, they have an enemy, but over half of the campaign at that point had been inner demons. That's not really what I want from a campaign. Didn't even bother getting Call of Duty footage for it because I don't have the game installed anymore. And I do not plan on reinstalling it just to do not even probably 4 minutes of dialogue about what I didn't like about it, because I've pretty much talked about most of what I don't care about. The implication of the main enemy, as far as I got, being Mason's inner feelings about his childhood or his time in the service, whatever, I did not care about. Not to mention, he doesn't even look like Mason at all. Like David Mason, they resemble each other in maybe a 5 o'clock shadow. That's about the best they got. They don't even have the same mouth. Like, it can't be that hard to just remodel the same guy with updated graphics, but whatever. I just could not bring myself to keep playing that campaign. Every turn, during every mission, it would just piss me off more. The giant plant thing was really the final straw. I get it's not real as far as the game's concerned, but it's real to me that this just seems like lazy writing. And the fact that they're basically just using the Avalon map again, like they did before with Modern Warfare 3, doing this open world campaign thing, and the co-op on top of it, needing it to be co-op is just, ugh. I don't get it. Treyarch dropped the ball. I can say at this point that I'm not buying the game, which really sucks for me because I was hoping that this game was going to be something so much better than what it was, especially being a direct sequel of Black Ops 2. That's my favorite Call of Duty in the world, but I just can't get behind this Black Ops 7 BS. It's not good enough for me to warrant deciding that I need to spend $70 to play just the multiplayer, which I didn't even give a chance. I've just been seeing stuff about it, and it already looks like I'm not going to enjoy myself. But that being said, that's pretty much all I got. I apologize for not finishing out the campaign like I said I was going to. But things change, and I did not want to subject myself to whatever the hell the rest of that was even going to be. So, thanks for watching.